Hello, I'm Edward Tarte, once a Catholic priest for 5 years in the 1960s, now an atheist, which means I find no credible evidence for the existence of any God. I, along with many of you, have been carrying on a dialogue with a local Catholic priest, Father TJ. In this video, I want to focus on the new church building which he helped to build. I am willing to assume that they had a number of reasons for building a new church. The one reason that the pastor gave in a newspaper article is that they very seriously needed more parking space. They now have in my community 2 beautiful church buildings about 2 miles apart. Here is a picture of their new church that I took recently with my iPad from my car parked in the street. As you can see, it is a large church. I would like to show you pictures of it close up, including interior pictures, but I will not do that. There are pictures of it at their parish website and at their Facebook page. I do not want to use their pictures without their permission, but I ask you, please follow the Facebook link below this video and see for yourself. Please do it now or after you have watched this video. This church is, in my opinion, extraordinarily beautiful in its worship area. It is, to me, as beautiful a church interior as I have ever seen. From what it says at their webpage, their new church is costing their parishioners over $20 million. Now, I want you to understand that as I make this video, I feel very angry and very frustrated. Why? I am an ex-Catholic priest who about half a century ago helped in the building of a new church. I am now an atheist. The way I see this new church and the cost of it is totally different from the way TJ, his pastor, and their parishioners see it. I have much to say about this, far too much for one video. In this video, I will focus on just one aspect. This is a $20 million structure having many purposes. One of its main purposes is to be the home of a collection of small, round, tasteless, hardened wafers of bread. That's all they are. But TJ and his pastor are certain that by saying the alleged words of their Jesus at the reported Last Supper, "This is my body," that by saying those words over the bread wafers, they change the bread into the actual body of their Jesus. They take those words not figuratively, but literally, and they project those words and the reported words of Jesus, "Do this in remembrance of me." They project those words down through the centuries, convinced that their bishop, by placing his hands firmly on their heads, gave them that transformative power. That is what I was certain that I did from 1963 to 1968. Here I am in May 1963, having just received the bishop's hands on my head seconds ago. Then I had faith. Now they have faith and I do not. TJ's pastor was in the seminary at the same time that I was, in years around 1960. Several of the same priest teachers that indoctrinated me indoctrinated him also. Father DeCherry, Father Gibbons, Father Galvin, Father Falanga, Father DePremio, Father Stam, Father Schick, Father Socklich. They were all certain that they had this power of changing bread into the body of their Jesus. Over 2,000 times I said those words over bread wafers at the worship service known as the Mass. The Latin words, "Hoc est enim corpus meum." This is not bread, this is just heavy paper. I was certain that I was changing the bread into the actual body of Jesus, even though the wafers kept exactly the same appearances, taste, and physical chemical composition of bread. My faith in those who had taught me, part of a human faith chain, made me certain that every day, 7 days a week for 5 years, I was changing bread into Jesus' body. I actually had no credible evidence to support my faith, and in fact, the overwhelming evidence of the constant physical characteristics of the wafers was against my belief, as it is now against the beliefs of TJ, his pastor, his parishioners, and Catholics worldwide. Catholics in this community come to this new $20 million church, and in that new church they worship bread, convinced that it is really Jesus' body. And not just worship bread, they eat it also, convinced that it is Jesus' body. Here I am in the first weeks of my priesthood, giving Holy Communion to a lady. For me now, this doctrine of Jesus' real presence is literally unbelievable. And I am joined in that assessment by the non-Catholic Christians of my community, Baptists, Methodists, Disciples of Christ, Presbyterians, Mormons, Episcopalians, Lutherans, Evangelicals. They have their lavish churches too, and what they believe is also, for me, unbelievable. But the thought of $20 million for this new Catholic Church to be, they say, the home of Jesus, I say the home of some bread, that thought boggles my mind. $20 million. What do you think? When I was a priest, I contributed what was for me then a substantial amount of money toward the building of the new church in my parish. What have I done with my extra money since then? In the last half century, I have taken about $500,000 of money that I have earned as a math teacher and have given it to charities that relieve human suffering. If you have not yet done so, I sincerely invite you to follow the link below and look at some enlarged pictures of the new Catholic Church that has been the subject of this video. To all of you, thank you for watching this video.